All right, just to address the question of do VLANs keep things separate, let's make this really easy. In the old days, you could have two switches. They used to have hubs, but we're just going to say switches. Okay, so I got two switches. I got this one over here, this one over here. I got 5 people connected to this one. They're playing a video game together. I got these 3. They got a file server and like 4 people who need to work with the files from that file server. So that's it, right? They're completely separate. There's no way to hack between them. Of course, the humans can. They can like yell or beat someone with a baseball bat or whatever. But the computers can't talk to each other because there's no connection. That's a LAN separation, and it's as completely secure as you can imagine, where secure means can't get from one network to the other, right? There's all the real security that you're concerned about is somewhere else, but that one particular attack path vector is completely isolated. There's no known way to get through that. Okay, so that's complicated though, or expensive, because you have to own this switch and you have to own this switch, and presumably owning 2 switches with 2 boxes and 2 power supplies is a mess. So in practical terms, we put both switches together, have a bigger switch. Now, we still want to keep this group apart from this group. Great, we make VLANs. VLANs allow you to define which ports or which users on the switch are in a virtual switch together. Yes, that provides some great security where the security is you don't want one switch talking to another, the traffic from one being able to get to another for someone to attack someone on the opposite one, or to try to get in to, access their passwords or whatever. That is very secure, where that one risk is the thing that you're protecting against. And it's a real risk at times. It's also not a real risk at times. It depends on the time. But that's a real security mechanism. The problem is that people automatically say, but I want to get to the internet. I don't live in 1995. I don't have 2 physical switches that aren't attached to anything else. They all attach to the internet. Now everything breaks, because now you're taking your 2 isolated things and connecting them. The very thing you separated them for. So it's not that VLANs are bad. It's not that independent LANs are bad. It's not that they don't have any purpose in the current world. It's that you have to stop thinking that it's just these 2 separate things and they don't touch, because you're merging them together. And at where you merge them together, all the traffic just flows back and forth by default. Of course, you can put in a firewall, you can put in ACLs, you can limit it, you can, have all kinds of rules to control that traffic. But the security you're getting is from those rules, that firewall, not from the VLAN. The VLANs aren't magic. Yeah, they break 2 things apart. It's like, I have a box of male cats in this box, and I have a box of female cats in this box. Okay, they're in separate boxes, right? They can't get to each other. Well, if you put the boxes together and cut a hole in the middle, and they have a doorway, and of course now you're going to have kittens everywhere, right? That's what you're dealing with here. Is just because you have a box isn't enough. It has to be a box that you don't connect to other boxes, or else you have to come up with some way to be a gatekeeper between them. And that's why, yes, they're a tool that can be used for security. They're a really powerful tool that can be used for security. But if you don't use them for security, if you just implement a box, it doesn't do anything useful on its own. It is just a tool towards an end. It is not an end itself.